All right, so get this. We're diving into AI software today, and it claims it can make entire video podcasts, just like from start to finish, using just a couple keywords or even like a website.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It caught my eye for sure. What really got me, though, was the launch date, February 14th, 2025. Valentine's Day. It's like they're trying to say the software is like the key to a love affair, but with podcasting.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see what you mean. They're definitely not shying away from big claims either. This isn't just like making podcasting easier. It's making it fast, profitable, accessible to anyone, even if you've never used a microphone before. So is it all hype, or is there something really big here? Well, that's what we're here to figure out.
I think the promotional material is definitely attention grabbing. It's kind of a jumble of contest announcements, with
Right.
a big prize pool and glowing testimonials and promises of like effortless monetization. It's all wrapped up in that get rich quick vibe that's so common in the digital marketing world these days.
Okay, so let's get into it. What exactly does this software do? They say it takes your ideas or keywords or even a whole website and turns it into a finished video podcast with visuals and music and all that.
From like a technical point of view, that's pretty ambitious. We're talking about AI that can not only generate spoken audio from text, but also choose the right images and video clips and sync everything up and even add sound effects and music. It's like automating the entire production process.
Wow, and they're really pushing the speed thing. They say you go from idea to finished podcast in just minutes.
If that's true, it's a game changer.
Yeah, think of all the time and effort that goes into traditional podcasting. Recording, editing, finding music, creating graphics. If this software does what they say, it could totally change how people create and consume podcasts.
I think it could definitely shake things up in the podcasting world. Imagine anyone with internet and a few keywords could make high-quality video content. That could lead to tons of new creators, new formats, then maybe even a shift in what audiences expect.
And they must really believe in that potential because their marketing strategy is aggressive. 50% commission rate for affiliates is crazy. Most industries never see anything like that.
It seems like they're totally focused on growing fast and getting into the market as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but that high commission rate does make you wonder, are they putting quick profits ahead of making the product better over time?
Right. Are they using hype and affiliate marketing to cover up any problems the software might have? These are things we should think about.
Okay, so we've got this AI video podcast software that promises to do everything.
Sure.
A launch date that feels kind of symbolic, a huge contest to get people talking, and a really aggressive marketing strategy.
Yeah, what stands out to me is just how ambitious it all is. They're not just trying to make podcasting tools better. They're trying to completely redefine the process. It's a bold move for sure. It'll be interesting to see if they can actually do what they're promising.
Absolutely. So let's get into those promises and see what they're offering potential customers. In their promotional materials, there's a section called Your Customers Will Love It Because,
Ooh.
and it's like a whole list of benefits.
Okay, let's look at those claims more closely. I think that's where we can start to see what's real and what's just marketing hype.
All right, let's do it. So they say instant podcast creation. So you just like hit a button and boom, you've got a podcast.
Well, that's the idea they're trying to get across. It's true, you can automate a lot of podcast production now, but instant creation, I think that's a little too simple.
Yeah, I mean, even if AI handles the technical stuff, you still need a good idea, right? And you need to know who your audience is and have some kind of structure for your content. It's not like you can just throw random words at it and get a masterpiece.
Nope, content creation is all about communication and connection. And even with AI helping out, you still need human thought, creativity, and an understanding of how to keep your audience engaged.
Okay, so the next thing on the list is AI-powered production. We talked about this a bit already. But what are the good and bad things about having AI handle production?
Well, the good stuff is pretty clear. You save time, it's more efficient. And it could cost less to produce. Imagine being able to hand off tasks like audio editing and sound mixing, and even making visuals to AI. That would free up human creators to focus on the important stuff.
Right, that sounds great, especially for people doing it on their own, who might not have the money for a whole production team. But what about the downsides? Could relying too much on AI make podcasts lose that human touch? That personal feel that makes them so engaging?
That's a good point. There is a risk that podcasts could all start sounding the same if everyone's using the same AI tools to make them. We could see a wave of podcasts that look and sound alike, and they'd be missing that personality and style that draws listeners in.
So it's even more important for creators to stand out, to put their own personality and perspective into their podcasts, even if they're using AI for production.
Exactly. The AI can handle the technical side, but it's the human element that really makes a podcast successful.
Okay, moving on to the next big promise, effortless monetization. They keep saying this in their marketing. It's like they're saying, use our software and the money will just flow.
It's tempting, right?
Yeah.
Especially for anyone who wants to make a living from their creative work, but like we've said before, effortless monetization is usually not realistic.
Right, because making money from a podcast is like any online business. You need a strategy. You need to know your audience, build a loyal following, and explore different ways to make money, whether it's advertising sponsorships or selling merchandise.
Exactly. And while this software might have some helpful features, for distribution and promotion, it's not a magic money-making machine.
Okay, so the effortless part is definitely up for debate. Let's look at the next point. No hidden costs. This always makes me a little suspicious, especially when it comes to software. There are always costs, right? Like subscription fees or usage limits, or those sneaky premium features that you have to pay extra for.
It's good to be careful. No hidden costs could just mean there's nothing extra beyond the initial price. But it's also possible they're being vague on purpose to get people to buy it.
So it's super important to read the fine print, understand how the pricing works, and be wary of anything that sounds too good to be true.
Absolutely. Transparency is so important, especially when it comes to money. If a company isn't upfront about their pricing, that's a big warning sign.
All right, last point on their list, user-friendly for everyone. Ease of use is definitely important, especially for people who are new to podcasting or who aren't really tech-savvy. But can software that claims to do so much really be simple enough for anyone to use?
That's the tough part with any complex software. Finding a balance between powerful features and an easy-to-use interface. Maybe they've figured it out, but that's something potential users need to check for themselves.
Yeah, because software, that's too complicated.
Yeah.
It can be just as frustrating as doing everything manually. And if a tool isn't easy to use, people won't use it, no matter how fancy it is.
Exactly. Usability is key. If this software is as user-friendly as they say it is, that could be a big selling point, especially for people who find the technical side of podcasting intimidating.
So we've gone through these. Your customers will love it because points. They're promising a lot. Instant creation, AI-powered production, effortless monetization, no hidden costs, and user-friendliness for everyone. It all sounds amazing, but like we've been saying, there are reasons to be cautious, to look past the hype and really think about these claims.
Exactly. We have to remember this is a marketing campaign. It's designed to sell a product. Their goal is to make the benefits sound great and downplay any problems there might be. It's up to us as smart consumers to do our research, to look into the product and decide if it fits our own needs and goals.
Yeah, it's like we always say, got to read between the lines and not just buy into the hype.
Exactly. Marketing is all about appealing to what we want. And this software, it's playing on some pretty strong desires. You know, the desire for things to be easy and fast, and the desire to be financially successful.
Right, and those desires aren't bad in themselves. But we have to be realistic and think critically.
For sure, we can't let those desires make decisions for us. We need to ask tough questions, look for real evidence, and be ready to walk away if something seems too good to be true.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into AI video podcast software, what are some key takeaways for our listeners, for people who might be thinking about using this product?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used well or it can be used poorly. It's not some magic answer to all your podcasting problems, but it can maybe make some tasks easier and open up new possibilities.
It's like that saying, right? A fool with a tool is still a fool. You need the knowledge, the skills, and the strategy to use any tool well, whether it's a hammer or a computer or AI software.
Exactly. AI can make you better at what you do, but it can't replace the human element, the creativity, the passion, the unique perspective that makes your podcast worth listening to.
So if you're thinking about using AI for your podcast, go into it with your eyes open, understand what it can and can't do, and most importantly, don't lose sight of your own voice and your own vision.
It's an exciting time to be making content. There are new tools and technologies coming out all the time, but it's also more important than ever to stay grounded. Focus on quality and being authentic. And remember that building a successful podcast takes time and effort and a real love for what you're doing.
I love that, Soy. So well said. I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. We covered a lot today, explored AI-powered podcasting, and hopefully gave our listeners something to think about.
It's been great. I always enjoy these deep dives.
Me too. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us. We hope you found this insightful and maybe even inspiring. Remember to check out our other deep dives. We're always exploring fascinating topics. Until next time, stay curious.